the screen from here on out, which is nice. And we're going to record all our meetings so that they're public, so people can jump on in and get more information that way. And we will upload all of those. So I guess we'll just hop right in for Chris, if you want to go first.
Sure.
Share some information.
So our big focus right now is the pool study, and we're interviewing 3 different firms that submitted RFPs. We'll interview them next week, and hopefully we'll bring somebody on board to start that study, see what the public wants for a new aquatic facility, what that looks like.
No, she's on vacation.
No, I thought she was not. Sutton Park, lots of damage to the playground equipment over last year. No excuses, but a lot of hold up on getting the new playground equipment. And when we finally got it, now we're just finding a time to actually get out there and get it installed. We have trouble with vandalism in our parks. Salmonave Park, the big wooden sign got totally demolished the other day, so we're gonna probably go back to like metal signage, which I don't like. I think the wooden signs are much nicer. And then I know many of you may have emailed me about ARPA funding, potentially how the city could assist financially small businesses, and I haven't gotten back with it. I've got a ton of email, and I'm thinking maybe a group email response, because it's going to be the same for everybody. What I'd like to do is find, like I mentioned last time, is find a time, or maybe several options, to sit down with the local businesses and see what things they want. Now, I say that we'd love to just take care of all your needs, but there's certain criteria for that ARPA funding, so we have to make sure we stay within our box. But I do want to get feedback from small businesses, so stay tuned for that. I know municipal government's a slow-moving animal, so be patient with me. That's really all I have to share today. You know, we've got Mayfest coming up, so we'll partner with Mayfest folks.
Awesome, thank you, Chris. Kelly's not here from Parks and Rec, and I don't know if we got any email or updates from her.
You know, I was just going to mention the playground equipment. That's a big deal right now. Our parks folks, street guys, actually, folks that work our streets are actually our park folks as well. So we have to find a good time where they can go out there and actually get it installed. Because the spring break, our ECHO program's not going on right now, that sort of thing.
And they were able to find all the coaches that they needed, except for one team that they were able to combine a 9-10 age group, so that's nice. Cheney School District, do you want to share Jamie's?
Sure. So from Jamie Weingart, she says, thanks to all who participated in the thought exchange on staggered start and end times. They're continuing to review feedback and working on making final determination on the schedule for next year by May 1st. They've also hired new principal, Brett Hale, who starts July 1st for the high school. They are in the midst of looking for a new superintendent. Please watch for information about finalist interviews, tentatively set for April 19th, 20th, and 21st. There will be a community forum each of these nights where community members will be able to submit questions for the candidates to answer and provide feedback to the school board. The school board makes the final determination on who is hired as the superintendent. And the spring sports are underway at the high school and will kick off at both middle schools April 11th. So that's for the school district.
Crystal, anything to share about the library?
Yeah, welcome to the library. I'm Crystal Miller, librarian here. So our last session of the free AARP tax aid is this Saturday from 11 to 3. It's by appointment only. The Master Gardener's Plant Clinic has started up again, so it's the first and third Fridays here at the library from 1 to 5, and that's through October. So any plant problem, question, the experts are here. You can ask them questions. The first and third Fridays from 1 to 5, and that's all the way through October.
First and third Friday?
Yes. Yeah. And then the Cheney Library Book Club is meeting on April 26th at 6:30, and they're reading Circe this month. So if you're interested, you can check in at the front desk. They have copies there. So. And then last but not least, our Cheney Friends of the Library Group will be having a book sale for Mayfest. So May 7th, 9 to 2, we'll have a book sale here.
Cool. What was the time for the book club?
Book club is 6:30.
6:30, thank you.
So to add to that a little bit about Mayfest, Friends of the Library might switch their times.
Oh, okay.
To match up, so
Oh.
Mayfest is only gonna be 10 to 3 this year on Saturday, and then the street dance is 6 to 10. But we're bringing it all back. So we got a car show going, where we shut down from C Street, is it C? Yeah, C all the way to F, on Saturday, all day, until we wrap things up. The cornhole tournament is, you can register on cheatingmayfest.org. You can register to be a vendor. If you're providing an activity, then it's free. If you're not, it's $40 for a vendor. We're still looking for artists for our alleyway, which is shut down behind the Mason Jar and West Plains Roaster, that alleyway. We have musicians on both ends of that alleyway. We have a live stage. We have tons of stuff going on in the kids zones, lots of free activities. Kiwanis is doing Paint the Helmet again. The library is bringing their mobile library set up. We are looking into getting some big trucks and stuff. We have the kids' lawn, bouncy houses. We have Spokane Aerial coming out and doing different things. We have Turnbull coming, so it's all coming together. But that is May 6th and May 7th. So 6th is the street dance, and the 7th is the all-day activity. So, and you can always go to cheatingmayfest.org to register for any of that. So, if people are interested. And we are still looking for sponsors for certain things, so that's another thing. You can hop on there. Okay, EWU. Hello, Kelsey. And
I have
Yay,
just an update. So we kind of talked last time about Eastern has Diversity and Inclusion Week, April 18th through the 22nd. For the first time, we are doing multicultural pop-up shops on campus, which means that vendors can sell things. And when we say multicultural, we're all multicultural people. We're talking about whatever identities we hold. So it's not, it's not maybe the impression that it's about race or ethnicity. Like anybody who's a business owner and has something that would be of interest to the students to sell. The other piece of that is like some organizations with information are also welcome to apply, and you have the link, correct? Yeah. And then the only other piece of that is food vendors, because we have a contract with our own dining services, food vendors are not allowed. So it's, mostly products and things like that, or if you want exposure for your business with the students at Eastern. The other piece too is you're going to be exposed to a different group of students. So a lot of the students that are multicultural come out for this event. So this might open up opportunities in your business that you haven't had before. And then the other cool thing, which is open to faculty, staff, students, and alumni at Eastern, because a lot of people in Cheney are alum. There's Career Services is offering on the Friday of Diversity and Inclusion Week, they're offering career advising. Thank you. They're offering career advising, but it's family friendly. So they have things set up for kids so that you can bring your kids along and, go talk to the professionals about your career goals and get some input, but also have fun things for your kids to do. So anyway, I will make sure that information's available to everybody if they want it. Registration deadline for that festival for the pop-up shops is April 10th, which is this Monday. April 10th, Monday. I think it's Monday. Oh, then it must be Sunday. Sorry. I know it's the 10th.
Yes.
West Plains Chamber, we did have a meeting with Mark Losh today. Not much. He's working on a lot of different things right now, which are all awesome, including his website. So check that out. But a thing that he did bring to our attention that we're going to possibly pair with and work with is the beer festival that he's trying to put on, which would be October 8th is what he's aiming for. And we're trying to make it not just about alcohol and beer as much as that's a big highlight, but also about vendors and other things. So possibly again shutting down College and F Street to pair with him in that regard. So look forward to more news about that. He was going to try to make it tonight, but he said that was a definite maybe, and he hasn't hopped on yet. So we'll see. Okay, anyone who was at the last meeting, which I think most everyone was, we did a revitalization breakout session. So we're all going to share a little bit about the highlights that we took away from our sheets of things that people want to focus on. And then we're going to give about maybe 10 minutes or so to focus in on those and kind of recap those. So you want to break out to either the same group you're in or a different group if you're more intrigued or interested in a different kind of focus or mission. And then also coming up, a few different things we're going to start doing is we're going to have a sign-up sheet here. That if at the beginning of the meeting, before the meeting starts, if you want to talk about something or introduce yourself, if you're new or whatnot, we used to do introductions, but it's gotten so big and takes up so much time, and then there's a lot of repeats. So if you want to say something, I do know, Travis, you want to talk for a little bit, so we'll have that go. But from now on, so we're going to just start this. Obviously, it's so small, this meeting, but just to keep kind of things orderly and keep it under a certain time frame so we're not wasting or staying too long. So if that makes sense. Yeah. Well, and of course, if you want us to share anything, please just email us so that we can share on your behalf if you don't want to give a presentation. So maybe, sorry, what?
Point person? The groups? Or?
Oh, for the revitalizing. I wasn't sure if Travis wants to go first.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to talk a little bit first?
Yeah, so this
Yeah?
is actually my director, Tara Jason.
Okay, awesome.
Do you want-
I started.
Yeah, sorry.
So I guess I'm Travis, the sales lead for Genie for Tara. And I think we've done about 300 installs here in Genie, either fixed wireless or fiber. And I've been an installer for 5 months, just got, now I'm doing sales. So basically going everywhere in downtown Genie and trying to get all residential and commercial properties hooked up with fiber. So I know that we have a few of them are happy customers in here today, and I know that they would be able to vouch for us. And so before doing with Patera, I was a low voltage electrician for 12 years, and I can 110% vouch that Patera is reliable, has great service, and it's just a really good company to have in your home to supply internet. And customer service is second to none, and it's something that I truly believe in. I have it in my house, and I project it down to 10 of my neighbors, and so we're just kind of looking to see what we can do to, be more welcomed in Cheney, and it's already seems like it's been going pretty well. So, all right, and I'll let Jason talk.
Yeah, this has been an exciting thing for the last couple of years that Patera's been working on. I'm actually a former resident and alum at Eastern. I lived out here for 4 years. I suffered with, I don't need to say who, for internet. I think you all know. And we're really excited. We've paired up with the city to use some of their dark fiber, as well as we're spending quite a bit building our own out to town, to the homes that have the above ground utilities. Where we don't have that option, we've got some awesome wireless homes, some great hosts in the area who are letting us use their roofs to bounce internet off to everybody, and we're really excited about it. We're providing I talked to a customer today down near Salnave. We're providing 10 times faster speeds for $5 less than the comparable plan that CenturyLink offers. So we're very excited. This has been a long time coming for people in Cheney who just have awesome internet, and now we can actually say that. So if you guys have any questions, come find us.
Are you in the outlying areas?
We are in several areas kind of toward the northeast. We're working on building our way further south, down toward Tyler, down toward down towards the southern parts of Cheney. It is a little bit different technology because we need to be able to maximize our towers, be able to shoot more like 10 miles instead of 1. But we do have a lot of good service. We're competitive with like Cougar Wireless in that realm as well, and usually are a little better and a little cheaper there too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Travis.
Yeah. Okay, so revitalize. So so what we're kind of looking at is like breaking into our groups again. We'll give a little recap of what each group kind of focused on. And then what we're trying to do is also find people who really want to tackle those goals. We have some emails from some people, depending on which group you were in, and kind of make a strategy to actually get those done. We got some of the funding for a revitalization project that we're going to be doing in the fall, but other things we might have to go in for more funding for, or find different ways of getting those tackled. So I'm gonna start, I guess mine was beautification, and what we came down to focus on is the entryway to Cheney. Just right in front of that sign, how to beautify that and make it much more appealing. And then the next thing is putting bigger flower displays by each kiosk, as well as like rotating kind of cleanup crews in downtown. So those were our major goals to attack this year. So that was for beautification, and then
Yeah, I had historical, and our main focus, kind of starting out with historical, is just how do we bring awareness to the history of the buildings in Cheney? What's the best way to share the history? We do have like a budget for historical plaques with information. So just figuring out how do we do that well? How do we make sure they're visible and easy to read? And so our main plan is kind of figuring out how we do that.
So mine is signage and access, and or my group was, and we talked about finding, chatting with DOT and possibly the city, I'm not sure, as far as signage on 904 pointing more towards downtown. You know, like on the highway it'll say, you know, zips this exit so many miles, but instead when people are already on 904, because so many people get off on Betts and just go around, directing more towards downtown. So that was our big one.
Minutes, okay. So my group is community engagement. So a couple key things she talked about was focusing on that shop small. So maybe with, you know, correlation with Mayfest or Rodeo, and trying to partner with the library to see, you know, since you guys do it for holiday hoopla time and everything. And then also, you know, with the revitalize, meeting with the mayor and incorporate some of the city council and getting that group along with us so that we can maybe put some of those events on.
Okay, our group was storefronts, and one of the primary things we wanted to do was compile a list of available properties, and with all the details. So some of them are for lease, some are for sale, some have work required, some are ready to go. But my husband and I are opening a business right next to the basement, hopefully grand opening for Mayfest. And so we did a bunch of research already when we were looking. And so we thought if we could compile it and really make it easy for potential business owners to have contact information and just details about what's available, that could help us fill stores and fill storefronts. And then our group also was just talking about ways to market Cheney business. So like having special events, like one of the people was originally from Enumclaw, and they have an event every weekend called Sundays on Coal, and they have like the whole town comes out, and you know, it's just a weekly thing. And so trying to think of ways that we could do things as a community that would cause people in Spokane to say, hey, let's go out to Cheney on the weekend. So just really figuring out how do we market small business here. And part of that is finding more people willing to start small business here.
So we're gonna divide up in groups. If any of those sounded interesting, find the correlating person, and then we're gonna talk about that maybe about 10 minutes, because we have Brian Dries here to give a nice presentation about taxes. So, cool, okay.
Zoom friends, do you guys want to sit in historical, or what's your passion?
Are you sticking with me?
Are you guys
Where are you located?
I think he gets off.
hang out for you?
It gets taken.
I just enjoyed it, that's it.
Kind of what they want us to do is
Historical, do I have a historical?
They're a huge group.
Joan and Lisa, do you guys want to sit in and chat with me about historical? Joan, I would love to hear more about your downtown history tour. And Lisa, I am going to ask Crystal if they're expecting donations for the book sale. So I will pull her aside in a minute and ask her about that. But Joan, if you wanted to share a little bit with me about the Downtown History Tour, I don't know if you're in a place where you can unmute. Hi, I'm going to turn your speaker onto just my computer so I can hear you better. Okay, can you talk for me and I'll see if I can hear you?
Hello, I'm talking now.
Okay, I can hear you. I'm gonna sit over here and just turn the computer and they can just look at my face for a few minutes. Okay, Joan, I would love to hear more about your historical tour for downtown.
Well, I'm going back through information that we knew to try to make sure I've got the accurate history of the buildings that you actually can see. I get caught up in ones that aren't there anymore, but doesn't make an interesting tour. Look at this empty parking lot. It used to have a building here. So anyway, it'd be, looking at each building and kind of giving a little history of it. And it's something that we could either have people do at an event, where we can take people around, or kind of advertise. There's a couple of different platforms that we've used for tours. One's a kind of Google Map thing that does tours, and you have photos and stuff like that. And there's several ways to do that, kind of an online self tour thing that we can promote. But
Yeah, I know Eastern has a historical tour that you can do. I think theirs is online too, so it's kind of cool to have an online option, and it would be fun to do like an in-person one too.
yeah, I think, at an event, it'd be kind of fun. We could, find some volunteers and give them scripts and stuff like that, and have people do it. And, who knows? We may actually have the museum open in the fall, but, I'm not holding my breath. Um, I know the city's busy, but I've been waiting 2 years. But anyway, yeah, so it's a lot of the information that I gave to Doug's mom.
Yes, yes, Mary, yes.
Yes, suddenly, yeah, brain freeze. But yeah, so a lot of that information, but I've gathered some more and found some additional pictures and things like that, especially for an online kind of tour, that we could, promote through all the various kinds of things, and on your website, stuff like that, where people could link in, or maybe have QR codes on some of the buildings that link you to an online tour that people might want to do.
I love the idea of the QR codes on the building so they can like scan it and it would take them to it. And I think we could totally add a tab to our website that is history of Cheney and put it on there, and people could access the tour and the information, and then the QR code could link them there. So I think that's a really cool idea. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think, we have lots of stuff in our blog, all those histories of buildings and things, but people don't search through blogs. And so thought, if we can put a couple of simple tours out for people, and it's easy to see, that we might catch their attention. And
Yeah, and to have it all in one place would be so nice, because we're trying to figure out the best way to do a sign or a plaque on the buildings that just give a little bit of the history of each building. And so I think we could add that QR code to those signs maybe, or even just a little plastic, vinyl thing that says, want to know more about the history of this building, scan this code. I feel like that would be a really fun way to do it that could then
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's a really good idea. And I know Mary has all that information, and you're also a huge wealth of knowledge. So we'll have to kind of figure out the best way to put that together. But if you need any help with creating that downtown history tour, I know I would love to help. I'm sure Mary would too. I know she's also really interested in the history of Cheney and kind of helping everyone have access to it.
Yeah, right now I'm kind of reconfirming and, scrutinizing photographs to make sure I've got the history right. As much as I have right now, what I know today will be different than what I know 2 years from now. But, to get that together and then do a little write-up on each building. So making progress on that. So I suppose I should be happy that the museum isn't actually open because I get to work on that more.
And by the time you're done with all of it, then you'll be able to maybe hopefully open, fingers crossed.
Well, if we can't be open, then at least we will be visible in the community again because of, doing tours and putting some information out there on history. And that may, also, I'd like to see us move, because our museum is so tiny. I want to see us move history outside of those walls.
Well, and we want to make that a part of our Revitalize event in the fall, where we kind of unveil a lot of what we've worked on. And we were talking about doing an event in downtown Cheney, and we wanted to bring the history into that too. So we could have, the walking tour be a part of that. And we even talked about maybe having people dress up in like old timey clothes and answer questions about the building. Like we've just been trying to think of how can we pull this.
That would be fun, if we could, if maybe, I don't know if the history club at Eastern is still active, but people, whether that or from the drama department or whatever, to kind of be available to do the tour and give them a script and let them go. And thinking that we were going to do something last fall, I'd created some little videos which are still there. But do we have any idea what kind of time we're looking at in the fall for something?
We had talked about it. I don't know if we landed on a date. I think it was going to be around or close to homecoming, maybe. Let me see if I put it in my calendar yet. I don't know that we landed on a date. I think we were talking about September, but I just am not sure.
Okay, I'm shooting for having something in place by the time September starts, so that I'm, more or less ready for this.
Yeah, I think it was going to be September or October. I just don't know if we landed on a date or not yet, and so I don't have anything in here. But I will ask Douglas, because I know that we had talked about it at one of our last board meetings, and see if we at least had a time frame to give you to kind of like have you in the know. And then you and I can talk more as we get closer about how do we bring the history into this event and make it fun, and it'd be cool to be able to then have, the tour done. I don't know if it'll be done in time, but like I said, if you need help, let me know, because I'd love to jump in, and sure Mary would love to help too. And
I know that I will, if we do an event, I know I will need people to lead the tour, because right now I've got such a small crew of volunteers, and none of them want to be seen in public.
Oh gosh, that makes it difficult.
So when we get to that part, we'll find somebody who can do tours.
Yeah, I would dress up too and do it.
Cool.
I would participate.
I would do that.
Especially if I got to dress up in old time clothes. Sign me up.
Give me a reason to dress up, and I'm in. I love that. Okay, I think we're going to be done in a minute. I'm going to figure out where Crystal is and ask her about the book sale and see if they're taking donations. Any other questions that you guys have for me, or anything that you want me to kind of figure out? Is the sound working well for you guys?
Yeah, it's much better than it has been. So, can, make people out when they're talking. So it's good.
Good. We're trying to figure out the best way to do it, but I think here it's a lot better because we have internet. At the last meeting, the hotel was so great, but it just didn't have very good internet. So my Zoom kept kicking me off. I couldn't even send a message to say it's not working. And here we can have it all set up so that we can hear you and you can hear us, and it's so much better. So we're excited to be able to utilize this space. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can pull Crystal aside. I'm gonna copy my notes, and then I'll come back over here to copy them and let you guys know, and then we should be getting back to the meeting in just a minute. Let me copy and paste my notes really quickly. How do I do that? Okay. Everything's so small on my computer right now, I can barely see what I'm trying to look at. Okay. Awesome, okay. We'll get this set back up and then we will get that question answered in just a minute. Okay.
I really enjoyed hanging out with you, sharing around upstairs.
That's right.
That's what someone who isn't covering up secrets would say.
Wednesday, so so before that, next, the June meeting.
I think that we were just touch base again at the meeting and like, okay, yeah, we're kind of there, we need to just let's there, and then I'll get that to you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, it came up with like 6 ideas last time, and then I don't know, the board was like, no, you need to like narrow it down to 2. So that's kind of like, this might be,
Definitely learned a lot today.
After we had our meeting in the valley, it said shop local.
Right,
And we had like a building like valley, I didn't know what it was like. I was like, okay, what can we do? Chini, we have like a small business event, so we could probably, I mean, this goes that year, like in October, I think like all the small businesses can, you know, get ready that, and then like, about something like order.
Just, you know, make sure to clarify things.
Yeah, I
We'll
mean,
do
that's
is at least
like
move
one of the things that is gonna
Because
happen.
it's already, there's already.
I was like, I need this summer. We do outside all that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Here's
sure.
some that bring
Oh,
it
yeah.
to- And then you bring it to the front desk, and it usually helps to call it in, so you see
Okay. No, I didn't want to interrupt your guys' planning. I figured I'd wait till we were like wrapping.
Another spreadsheet in there where people can kind of throw out ideas for during this time.
Okay, quick update for you, Lisa. I'm gonna type it in the notes just for myself. They are accepting donations for the book sale. If you're able to call ahead and let them know you're coming, that's helpful just so they can kind of be prepared. But you would just drop them off at the front desk.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, no problem.
No. We only met once and it was just like brainstorm. So now we're kind of going, okay, what's the next step?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So like, for example, it says free weekly monthly event is like business to achieve. Our goal is to increase business on the program is their strategy. And then long-term vision, Chini is an exciting place for Chini citizens, but also draws on people.
All right, we are wrapping up. So thank you guys for your patience, and we are going to be having Brian Bryce come share in just a moment.
Which has, here's all our ideas, here's what we need. For example, we kind of almost like there's our goal would be to decide whether to fill a certain number of empty spaces. Like if we want to actually have a quantifiable long-term vision to be able, the CMA have information resource for people interested in administration. So I'll send this spreadsheet out and I think will be helpful. The biggest thing is we have a full of ideas and then it's like gather all the ideas. The business one, I feel like is so attainable because it just requires us to call and talk. So coming up with that list of it was big. But there's other ideas on here too. It's not really gonna happen here, but
That's totally fine.
Yeah, I'm missing something. Okay, cool. Ryan, you ready to go?
So, yeah, maybe they're your people, you know?
Like came unplugged. TV just like timed out. I don't think it should affect them being able to hear us. It just means we can't affect them being able to hear us. It just means we can't. As long as they can hear us, we're fine. Okay, there we go. Yep, we're good.
Okay. So here's our presentation.
My name is Brian. I'm the owner of Drysa County here in Cheney. I work out of my home. We've lived in Cheney almost 24 years. I've been doing taxes for 27 years. Got involved from my mother-in-law. I took a tax class and worked for one of the retail big box stores for about 24 of the years. And that ran right into the first year of COVID, and their true colors came out, and I decided to leave and went out on my own. Last summer, I decided a lot different type of clientele, a lot more tax problems. So I had to get my EA license with the IRS. That gives me representation rights.
What does EA stand for?
Enrolled agent.
Thank you.
So I'm not a CPA, but the enrolled agent is almost as good, same amount of representation rights as a CPA. And then what I wanted to kind of talk about today is extensions and what to do or what happens if you don't file an extension. So just a show of hands, who hasn't filed? Okay. So, and those who have filed, you know, this may be important too. So over the last, when COVID started, we had to 3 extra months to file, which put us at July 15th. Last year we had to May 15th or 17th, I think. This year we got 3 extra days. We got to April 18th. Extension really isn't important if you know you're going to have a refund. But if you have a balance due, that's where it's important to get an extension. An extension isn't an extension to pay, it's only an extension to file. So if you're gonna know you're gonna owe, it's important to make a tax payment. But it does give you relief from some of the penalties. So the big one is the failure to file. So that's 5% per month, maximum 25%. For the first 5 months, it's offset by the failure to pay penalty, which is 0.5%. So, sorry. So you're kind of, whatever balance due you end up having after the 18th, you're gonna be stuck with at least 0.5% plus their annual interest rate. Right now it's 3%. So there is always an exception to an exception with IRS rules. So, and I wrote this one down. So if your exception to the failure to file penalty of 5% per month is if you're 60 days late, your tax penalty is 100% of the tax or $435, whichever is less. So if you owe $400, don't file for 60 days after the due date, penalty is $400. So it's pretty tough one. The extension can avoid that. So there's a couple ways you can file an extension. Old-fashioned paper extension by mail. You can do it on the IRS website, or you can come to me, I can do it. And then as far as business returns go, pass-through entities, C or S corps and partnership returns tend 1065s. They don't have any penalties for taxes because most of them are a pass-through entity and don't have their own tax, but they have a penalty of $210 per month or part of month per shareholder. So maximum 12 months. So if you got 5 shareholders, it's $1,050 per month. So over $25,000 a year. I see it all the time. People think they don't have to file on the business returns, and it comes back, bites them. Had somebody the other day didn't file their 1065 2-member partnership. They filed, I don't think they even filed an extension, but I filed their 2020 return about a month ago. They already got a letter, $2,600 penalty. So it's just important to get that extension done. Gives us an extra 6 months to get the tax return done. So I'd rather do the extension than try to rush through and get the tax return done and it be incorrect. So other than that, does anybody have any questions?
I'm gonna promote your business. So I know a lot of people in Cheney use Dryce Accounting. So as new business owners, what can we expect from your service?
Well, I do a lot of business licensing along with the tax preparation. So if you need the licensing set up, I can help out with that. Get the tax ID numbers. I'm a lot cheaper than, what's that company called? The online company for business licensing. Can't even think of the name of it, but a lot cheaper than most out there. So I got a lot of support from Cheney, CMA, and
Nice.
everybody in here. So they spread my name around like wildfire.
Do you help with closing businesses, like as far as the accounting piece of that?
Pretty much any. The only type of business I really don't deal with is publicly shared or publicly traded. So.
And you have a schedule?
I know.
I do. It's limited. You might end up with an extension.
I'm okay with that right now.
He also, I'm his wife, so I help promote his business too. But you also provide bookkeeping, payroll.
Bookkeeping, payroll services, yeah.
For businesses.
As an enrolled agent, can you be an agent of somebody else's business then?
Yes.
So
well,
like if they didn't want to use their own home address.
Oh, that's for a registered
That's a
agent.
different kind. Oh,
Yeah, registered
okay.
agent.
Just making the clarification.
Yeah, anybody can be a registered agent here in Washington.
Okay.
Including yourself.
I know.
For your own business.
I was gonna say, I know I can because I am. I didn't want to believe you.
But I don't charge to be a registered agent. I'll charge to renew the annual report. Anything else? Okay.
As a customer, I send them an email.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yes.
Okay, I guess
Thank you
that's
so
it.
much.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys, well, unless anyone has anything else, our next meeting is May 3rd. The first Wednesday of the month, so that'll be right before May Fest. Sorry.
I just have one question.
Yeah.
About last week.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys remember the dates that the reenactors were coming?
It'll be Memorial Day weekend, so it'll be that Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And that's the 28th, 29th, and 30th this year.
Okay.
And our next meeting is Wednesday, May the 4th.
May the 4th.
May the 4th.
Oh.
5:30 here.
No, it's gonna be the,
Start-
we're starting here.
Oh wait,
And
no,
then we're
yeah,
gonna
we're
do
gonna
the
start
downtown
here.
walk.
Yeah,
and
so
then
we're gonna do a downtown walk, so
Fun.
if anyone would, obviously you guys are all here for this, so anything we're talking about with signage, beautification, activities, kind of, start looking at. The nice thing is too that we're gonna try to have all the board members of the Mayfest here to also walk through and kind of explain how that works, because that has been the growing festival for 9 years now. I mean, obviously we had a few hiccups with COVID there, but it's definitely Cheney's biggest event, independent event, that has nothing to do with Eastern per se. So that
Weather ready.
Be weather ready. Hopefully it's nice, but yeah, definitely. But we'll start here, so.
Do we have a treasurer's report today?
Oh, sorry, yes.
Yes, all right, so currently in our bank account, we have $15,988.91. Some of that includes the revitalized money that we're gonna be, some of the wayfinding signs, what else was?
Historical plaques, the signage in the storefronts, the vacant storefront signage.
Yes.
Yeah, a few of those things.
Yeah, so I think that was what, 4,000-ish off the top of my head?
Yes, it was 4,100.
So,
But we did spend some of that already getting our bags that we'll have out, we have our pens, and all that stuff, so some of that was used.
so
And then we were the main sponsor for Mayfest this year, which means we're the only people on the back of our t-shirt. We have over 280 of those printed a year, so if you want any, let me know. If you have a downtown business, the library gets them, Friends of the Library get them. We try to get them out a few Fridays beforehand so people can wear them to promote Mayfest. But it also has our website on the back, and we are doing a competition to win cash prizes to visit our website and tally numbers that way. So that will be coming, the t-shirts being printed this week. So it's a good way of getting that out there.
Sponsorship, what are you looking for as a sponsor?
I'm not the sponsorship person, but I do have my list here. Unless you remember it, Melissa, off the top of your head. No. I have my phone. We do banners and Facebook posts and stuff like that. Pull it up, and I can give you this if you'd like it, in sort of sponsorship form. But yeah, so these are
monetary and in-kind donations,
yes,
right?
both taken. Yeah. So perfect. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So some people might be coming to your businesses and knocking on your door with forms like that very soon. I know, not me either. The person who's supposed to just back out. So we'll figure it out. Here's that thing.
And then speaking of the website, we're still working on getting all of our new members onto the website. We're just learning how to get everything updated and put on. So if you're not on there yet, we're working on it. We will get you on there. We're just getting all our systems in place. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But yeah, we're working on getting it all updated.
And don't forget adding events to the
Yes.
calendar. So if you just want to send an email, if you have an event coming up or something you want on that calendar, just email.
You can go to the website and submit from the website, and it goes right to our board
right to
email.
our,
That's the
comes right to our
easiest.
inbox.
Awesome. Anything else? Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you all next month.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa and Joan. Do you guys have any questions before I sign you off?
I had one quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
How much are the t-shirts?
Let me ask Douglas. I think the t-shirts are primarily for volunteers.
Okay.
For Mayfest.
I was just wondering if we could buy some maybe to wear on, like, in Branch on that Friday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me.
Our staff would wear them, you know, we would all wear them.
Yeah, I love that. Let me go chat with Douglas really quick and just ask him.
Okay.
If they can have shirts or buy shirts to wear in their French. Do you want to go just chat with him?
Hey, Lisa.
Hey.
Yes, we're gonna get you t-shirts already. I already have you on my list. So.
Okay, what if we wanted some for everybody in the branch, though, you know, like all of our staff to wear on that Friday?
Yeah, could you get
sizes?
Yeah. If you just want those, that would be awesome.
I will get you a list of sizes, but because I know we would wear them, we would wear them possibly even like Wednesday, you know, Thursday and Friday.
Awesome. Yeah, we've always got them. So if you can just email me over the Mason Jar 101, or just even on Mayfest website, you can email us, either one, whatever easiest. And they're both cheap. Yeah, and then I'll get you guys those as soon as they come in, so that would be great.
Okay.
Awesome.
I will get those to you.
Thank you. Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Any other questions?
That's good. Thank you so much for getting that for me.
Oh yeah, no problem, Lisa. Have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.